Hare Krishna and welcome, Armin, Denike, the world, on our journey to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Krishna's pastimes, and Krishna's interaction with this material energy. And so this is First Canto, Chapter 2, Text 31. Text 30 through 33 is bringing up how is Krishna involved in this world. And we heard Narayana para Veda, Narayana para Makaha, Narayana para Yoga, Narayana para Kriyaha, Narayana param Jnanam, Narayana param Tapaha, Narayanam paro Dharmo, Narayana paragatihi. And so for the Vedas are for Krishna. Now one may bring up this question, but don't the Vedas, isn't Narayan, you're saying Narayan, as we understand it, the sages may say that Narayan is beyond this world. He is Narayano Paro Vihaktat. He is beyond this material energy. But then, how is he involved in this world? What is his interaction? And if he has entered this world, isn't he like us? Like if he's in the jail, isn't he a prisoner? That's what Srila Prabhupada compares to the king visiting the jail. He's not there under the same circumstances, and he's not being held there. He's not limited by that situation. So, previous verse we discussed about there's the three Vishnus. Carmen, do you remember can you try to describe the three Purushas, the three Pumsams? So Savai Pumsam. There's what is it? Iti-chansa Sakala Pumsam Purushas, the three Purushas that are touching, integrating, seemingly interacting with matter.
Like the Vishnus?
Yes.
Oh, there's a Carbonite Dakshay Vishnu. There's Mahavishnu.
Yeah, Mahavishnu or Karanadakshay Vishnu. He is called Mahavishnu because he is not just the size of a universe. That's kind of small. He's so big that
the universes come out of him.
Yeah, come out of his pores.
They come out of his pores every time he exhales.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's Mahavishnu. Like Vishnu already is like this is Mahavishnu. So that's the first super soul. He is entered into called the Mahatattva or Pradhan. I think that's two different stages of material. I think it's called Pradhan, or also the causal ocean. He enters into this material ingredients cloud of matter that is taking 1/4 of the energy of the spiritual world is just this material cloud. And Prabhupada said less than 9% of the living entities are in this part of the existence, and we are in this material existence. So this 1/4 energy, he goes into that energy and he lies down, and then the universes come out of his pores, and then he goes into each universe as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and then he goes even smaller into the atom. And so the previous verse was about Karanadakshaya Vishnu, and then this verse is about Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. It applies to both of them. It applies to the Lord entering the material egg, the universal, the one universe, and it also applies to the Lord entering into what do you call the bodies of all creatures, and even in the atom. And then that's the third Vishnu. So let me pull up the verse. share my screen. But I don't have too many things open. So I pick it. Oh. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Taya vilasite shreshu guneshu gunavaniva antapravishta abhati vijnanena vijimbitaha. Let me just pull up, let's look at the next verse also. That's a good, important one. Database. Yeah. This saying that the Lord, yes, like fire. Fire is the in a undetected form. Fire is within all wood. You know, you gotta light it, and you can see it, but it's there. You know, it's within. This element of fire is within all wood. So he appears to be in many varieties. So he's in all creatures. Though he's one absolute one without a second. Okay, go back to that's the one we're looking at. Taya vilasitsu teshu guneshu gunavaniva antapravishta abhati vijnanena vijimbitaha. This word anta, we might have dealt with previously in some other form, but anta is where you get the word interior, anta. And there's actually really fitting because there's a word that means the super soul. It's called antaryami. I don't know what the yami means, but there's anta bhave within the body, antapur within the palace or the city, antabraje and within vraj. It says anta, interior, inside. And this word pravishta means going in, entering. Anta pravishta. Anta pravishta. So can you do that? You point to your chest, anta within, and then pravishta, entering. Anta pravishta. And vijnanena. I think we did this ena, by. Kind of vijnana means knowledge, but vijnana means something that you actually experience it and know that you realize. So actually having that consciousness, you actually have it. So let's see. Translation. After creating the material substance, so this is the previous verse, we actually didn't discuss that, but the material substance is his energy. The Lord expands himself. We did explain a little bit about the clay and the potter. Do you remember that? The clay and the potter. You have the efficient cause, the ingredient cause, and the ultimate cause. So the efficient cause is efficient cause and ingredient cause. Efficient cause is the one who's making the pot out of clay. The material cause is the clay itself. And the ultimate cause could be the person who hired the person. Just like if you have a pregnant mother, of the three, two of the causes are the mother. She's the ingredient cause, and she is the one that is bringing forth the child. So she is the efficient cause. But it is without the father. Without the father, that's the ultimate cause. It would not take place without the presence of the father. So that's the ultimate cause, just like the ultimate cause of the potter making his pot is somebody maybe hiring him to do it. And so he is creating the material substance with his own energy. So Krishna is all three. The ingredients are made out of him. The one who brings it forth is him, and he is the cause behind it. He expands himself. It's kind of a not the best English word, because he means it's kind of like he multiplies himself, or he makes another form of himself. Not that he gets expanding, like he gets bigger, but more of like he's multiplies himself and he enters into it. Although he is within the material modes of nature, so it looks like he's in prison, or he's in matter. He's within matter and appears to be a material being. He's always fully enlightened. So he's fully in Vijnana. He's fully he's not covered by material consciousness, and he is in his transcendental Vijim Vitaha. That's the fully enlightened in his transcendental position. Okay, I'll read the purport. The purport is short. The living entities are separated parts and parcels of the Lord, and the conditioned living entities who are unfit for the spiritual kingdom are strewn. This is like, how you scatter seeds. Like if you want to plant grass, you scatter the seeds. Sometimes they have you roll this thing and it throws the seeds out. They're strewn. So the living entities are strewn within the material world to enjoy matter to the fullest extent. Give it a shot. Give it a try. As Paramatma, and the eternal friend of the living entities, the Lord, by one of his plenary portions, accompanies the living entities to guide them in their material enjoyment and become the witness of all activities. So that in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, there's a verse. There are many verses. We can look at some of those verses. While the living entities enjoy the material conditions, the Lord maintains his transcendental position without being affected by the material atmosphere. In the Vedic literature, Shruti, it is said that there are two birds on one tree. Does anybody know this example? What are the two birds on one tree?
The birds on the tree?
Yes.
Is that what you said? Oh. I only know one example, but I don't think it relates to this.
Tell me what you got.
The one that comes to my mind is where they explain that there's two birds on the tree, and then one is eating or doing whatever, and then the other one is looking at it.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that is from the Upanishad. So the two birds on a branch. One bird is eating the fruit. Who's that?
It's us.
Yes, that's the soul. He is enjoying, what does he say here? He is within the material to enjoy matter to the fullest extent. He is trying to experience matter to the fullest extent. So he's just engaged in eating the fruit. And who is the other bird? What is the other bird doing?
It's Krishna, and he's looking at the bird, waiting for us to look at him.
Yeah, so he is watching his friend, waiting for him to turn. And he is actually guiding this. He is like if you stand next to a rose bush, you can smell the roses, isn't it? So Krishna is there, and he smells our inclination.
Wow.
And he guides us according to those inclinations, our desires. Even the way we move in this world is actually like if I scratch my head, actually I don't do it. It's not like a Robotech or like one of those robots where you have like like the gears, and the soul is actually not even doing anything other than desiring. Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita, it says a lot about this. The fool thinks he's the doer. When you're riding an Uber, are you doing anything?
No,
Are you making the turns? No, you're just saying, I want to go this way, I want to go that way. And the driver is actually facilitating that. And so Krishna is, as the super soul, he is guiding them in their material enjoyment. So he's aloof. There's so many verses. Shall we look? Let's look at some verses in the Bhagavad Gita. You have.
Well, so that's crazy. So basically, based off our desires, that's like the sort of body we get, but Krishna controls everything. Like what happens, even down to like when we feel like itchy on our arm or something, like that's like Krishna's doing.
Yeah, we're not doing anything. We think.
Wow.
Yes. But if it didn't work so perfectly, it'd be easy to figure it out. Like if I had a desire to itch myself and then like if it happened like, slowly later, then I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm not the body. I'm just the one who's like expressing some desires, and then these things happen. So here in Bhagavad Gita, where does it say? I think it is chapter 9. What is that verse? Why is that? Oh, I think it's.
Oh my God, this reminded me of like one of the classes I gave. I think the Sanskrit word was itchati. Itchy
Entropy?
desires.
Say it again.
I think it was itchati.
Itchity, desire.
Itchy desires. That's how you explained it.
So this verse here speaks about it's a contrast. You see this verse number 29? This verse, the first part of the verse speaks about Krishna in his role as the super soul. He is impartial. He is not really, he's there in the heart of the murder, of the military man, of the materialist, of the family man, and so many people. He's directing. He's giving the murder he's facilitating that person's desires, but in an impartial way. He is facilitating the soul's independent desire to forget Krishna and to try to enjoy matter separate from him. So in this form, he is not relating to us affectionately. If we turn towards him affectionately, then we're actually asking Krishna in his full form to appear in our heart. Actually, Paramatma is the Lord's form, but this is the form that he's dealing dispassionately with matter. I envy no one. I am not partial to anyone. I'm equal to all. But when there's reciprocity with devotion, but when one who renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, isn't me, and I'm also a friend to him. So then the relationship changes. And this is asking, we're asking not the super soul, the impartial witness within the heart to just be in our heart. We're actually asking our soulmate, the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, original personality of Godhead, to reside within our heart. Where are some other examples of this impartiality? Oh, Dhananjaya. So this is, again, remember we're reading about the Garbhodakshay Vishnu and Karanadakshay Vishnu. At the end of the millennium, all the manifestations enter into my nature. And the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. So that applies to both Garbhodakshay Vishnu and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Vishnu under different, one is a greater time period, one's a lesser time period. The whole cosmic order is under me. Under my will, it's automatically manifested again and again. Under my will, it's annihilated at the end. All this work cannot bind me before I'm ever detached. So he's dispassionate. He's completely dispassionate, seated as though neutral. This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under this rule, this manifestation is being created again and again. Now, if we look at verse chapter 13, you'll find a bit about the super soul. Here, let's see. His hands are, legs are, and eyes and heads and faces and ears are everywhere. He's the original source of all senses, yet he is without senses. So he doesn't have material senses. He's unattached. He's dispassionate, although he is a maintainer of all beings. He transcends the modes of nature. At the same time, he's the master of the modes of nature. So he's above the modes of nature, but somehow he's managing it. Usually it's like if you're mixing turmeric with your hand, then your hand becomes orange. Or you're dyeing somebody's hair blue, then your fingers become blue. If you're involved in it, then you become affected by it, you become touched by it. But here it's saying he's above it, he's unaffected by it, but at the same time, he is the master of it. He is inside and outside of all living beings. So he is subtle beyond the power of the material senses, and although far away, he's also near to all. And this is kind of like the next verse about the wood. He appears to be divided, but he's never divided. He's situated as one. Although he's maintainer of every living entity, it's understood that he devours and develops all. He's a source of light in all luminous objects. He's beyond the darkness of matter. Where is the one I wanted to look at? So the living entity, this is us. He follows the ways of life, enjoying the modes of nature. Enjoying can mean actually reaping the results. It could be experiencing. The word enjoying can mean experiencing. So it means experiencing the good and bad of material nature. Thus, he needs good and evil in various species. He experiences good and bad circumstances in various species. Yet, in this body, there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, who is known as the super soul. Let's look at that verse 23. It says, Upadrashta Anumanta Cha. Drashta, drishti, means to see. Darshan. Upadrashta, the overseer. and the permitter. So he is within the heart, he is watching everything, and everything is happening according to his sanction. How many of you have heard this statement? Not a blade of grass moves without the sanction of God. Have you ever heard that? Raise your hand. Let us know.
Yes.
Have you heard that? Where have you heard that? Where does that come? Do you remember a particular circumstance? I'm wondering, I've heard it with devotees. I'm wondering if people say it outside of devotee circle. Anybody know? Is that outside of the Hare Krishna, Vaishnav, Hindu?
I feel like I heard it outside, but maybe it was like the same idea, maybe a different reference, maybe.
Okay,
I'm not sure.
Not specifically grass, though. Maybe, or
yeah, maybe. But I definitely think I've heard it outside for sure.
Because there is a Upanishad story. This is from the, let me see, this is, I think, from the Kena Upanishad. I can pull it up. And it's a story wherein the demigods are, let me see, maybe I have it saved, Kena. Yes, I have it here. I think it's Kena Upanishad. Let me just type in the word grass. Okay, here it is. Yes. So this is chapter 3 of the Kena Upanishad. The Lord breaks the pride of the Devatas. So let's see, where does the story start? Okay, so the Lord Vishnu knew the pride of the Devatas, and by his inconceivable, this is Kena Upanishad, chapter 3, text 3. It's a very small book. Lord Vishnu knew the pride of the Devatas, and by his inconceivable power, he appeared before them in astonishing form. And the Devatas, the demigods, couldn't understand who this was. And so Agni came, or the demigods went to Agni, the god of fire, said, "Go find out, what is this thing? What is this being?" And so they're calling him a yaksha. In Japan, they call it a yaka. Anybody heard that yaksha before? It's like a forest spirit. The Krishna's appearing in this very mystical, the Lord's appearing in this form like a forest spirit. And so Agni came there, and the yaksha says, "Who are you?" The Agni says, "I am Agni. I am known as Jataveda." And the yaksha says, "What power do you have?" And Agni says, "I can burn anything on earth. Anything on the land, I can burn it." And then so the Lord took a piece of grass and said, "Please burn it." And with great speed, the god of fire approached the grass. And using his greatest strength, he couldn't tinge a singe on this little piece of grass. And he went back to the demigod and said, "I don't know who he is. I can't understand it." And they asked, "Okay, then they said, Vayu, wind god, the god of strength, of might. Go there." Tatashtu. Yes. Tateti. Iti tayeti. Thus. Yaksha, "Who are you?" They said, "Vayu. I am Vayu. I am Bhattarishva. Because I can travel swiftly in space." What power do you have? "I can carry anything away. I can push things, I can carry anything away." Pick up this piece of grass. And Javayu enthusiastically approached the grass. And with all of his strength, he couldn't make the grass move or anything. He went back to the demigod. I can't figure out who he is. Who is this? And so then Indra, they said, Indra, please, oh Indra. Let's see. Indra he approached the Yakta, but then the Yakta disappeared. And then Indra approached the daughter of the Himalayas, Uma, who Uma Thurman got her name. And who is that worshipful person? And that she said that Yaksha is Brahman. That Yaksha is God. And the war between the Devatas and Asuras, Brahman gave you victory, but you became proud, thinking, this is our victory. I did this. Ahamkar. I am the doer. By these words of Uma, Indra could understand the Yaksha was Brahman, God. Therefore, these Devatas are considered superior to others because they understood Brahman was close by. They first understood that the Yaksha was Brahman. So others, it took them who they didn't understand, but it took them some questioning and some inquiries. Andrew considered it superior to all other Devatas, so he contacted the Yaksha, which is situated near. There's some dialogue. Brahman is well known as Tadpan, Vishnu, because he's dwelling within and is worshipful. All living entities respect the person who knows the Lord as Tadvan. Okay, that's from the Kena Upanishad. All little book. Okay. Why did we go to Kena Upanishad? Oh, the blade of grass. Yeah, everything is moving. Not a blade of grass moves without the sanction of God. And there was a very illustrative example from the Kena Upanishad. Even the demigods couldn't even move a tiny piece of grass. The Lord came there to destroy the darkness of pride. Let's see any other verses we should get. Any comments or questions so far?
Not really. I'm just like appreciating what I'm hearing and trying to digest.
Let's see. Okay, a few more. We can look at some more, just a few more verses. Do you know any verses regarding the super soul? And of course, let's see. Famous one, often recited on the Wisdom of Sages show, is 15:15. Sarvashtachaham Kriti Sanivishto Mata Smritir Jnanam Apohanam Cha. Sarvasya means all. Aham, I. Situated, Sani Vishta. Where am I situated? Siddhi, in their heart. Mata, from me, comes Smriti, remembrance, Jnanam, knowledge, awareness, and Apohana, forgetfulness. And then it continues, by the Vedas, I'm to be known. Indeed, I'm the compiler of the Vedas and the knower of the Vedas. But specifically here, this is relevant. And then, have you heard that verse before? I am in everyone's heart, and from me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness.
Yes. It's a really nice verse.
Very nice. And then you have chapter 18, I think it's text 54, maybe? 56, 54, let's see. no. Or is it 61? Ishvara Sarva Bhutana. So Ishvar means what? Controller, mean Lord. Sarva, all living entities. Sarva, we should know this word because it's used all the time. It means all. Hriday, again, this heart is Hrida, Hrita, or Hrida. What is it? Sarva Sticham, Hridi, Sani Vishto. So Hrideshe. Desha is place, Deshe, at the place of the heart. Arjuna. Tishtati, Ita, stay. I'm in everyone's heart, and I direct everyone's wanderings. Again, Sarva Bhutani, Sarva Bhutanam. I direct their wanderings. The Lord is situated in everyone's heart, Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine placed in a yantra. Arudhani yantra. Radharani yantra rudhani maya. Made of material energy. Maya. Okay. All right. Let's see. There's a few here. The Lord entered into the jivas covered by the gunas. Now, Vishnu Chakrabarti Thakur and Jiva Goswami will explain the verse a little differently. The Jiva Goswami says this is referring to the Lord going within the universe. And Vishnu Chakrabarti says this is the Lord entering the heart of all creatures. So this is either, like I said, this verse can refer to super soul within the heart, known as Janardana or as Shriyodakshay Vishnu. And this is our super soul of the universe, Garbhodakshay Vishnu. The Lord entered the jivas covered by the gunas, manifested by material maya. He appears to be in contact with the gunas, but he is strengthened by his spiritual potency. Commentary. The Lord is the inner soul of all that he has created. This is explained in 3 verses. The Lord entered the jivas covered with the gunas and made to manifest by maya. The Lord appears associated with the gunas, but this is not actually so, because he excels in power by his Chit Shakti. And we'll just read this little part here. During the creation, Vasudeva, Karana Dakshayi Vishnu, enters each universe and is called Garbhodakshayi. He remains transcendental. So he enters the universe, but he's still completely transcendental. Despite the fact that he appears to be in matter, when he enters the heart of each living entity and into all matter, he is known as Shriyodakshayi Vishnu. And again, he remains transcendental. So there's commentaries on 32. As a super soul, Vasudeva enters everything in each universe. Generally, the conditioned soul's mind is filled with desires. Based on the desires, the super soul is inspired to reciprocate with the conditioned living entity. He connects the soul with his own external energy, maya, so that the soul can experience matter. However, living entity desires connection with Krishna's energy, change to one of service in the spiritual world. The super soul inspires the living entity differently. So he takes a quick, as soon as the soul changes its desire to that of service, Krishna is no longer taking this aloof position. What does he say? Where is that? I didn't read that one, nor my partial one. but one who renders service unto me, devotion is a friend in me. Krishna so takes the devotee so dear. Here he says he's not partial, and then here he says he's come so extremely partial. Even if the person's badly behaved, you have to consider him a sadhu, because he's rightly situated in his consciousness of being a servant, that whatever bad things he has will quickly become cleaned away. Quickly he will actually become righteous. He is actually in the shower. He is like a hard, sour mango connected to the tree, and you just got to let him ripen over time. Boldly declare it, my Arjuna, that my devotee never perishes. So this is the strong, emphatic partiality of the Lord. So he's there, affectionately there for all living entities, but if there is no affection of the soul towards God, then he just takes care of the soul regardless. He never leaves us. He's never away from us, even if we're a criminal, even if we're a horrible person. He is always there, but we don't get that special guidance and that voice, that connection, until we reach out to him. The ball is in our court. It's been in our court for quite some time, and we are the ones that have chosen to desire separately, and he is respecting our independent desire. And if he will not force, he could easily make us subservient. He could just show how he is within everything and everywhere, and we would be so scared. See you later, Carmenji. We'd be so scared, like Arjuna was scared in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that we would feel complete submission towards God. If you see that, this planet is like barely the size of a tip of the hair of Lord Vishnu, then we would automatically be full of such awesome grandeur, and we'd feel fear and all these kind of things. But he doesn't impose his existence upon us. He just simply reciprocates. Okay, so let's give this practice this word. I don't know this one yet. A little bigger. Taya vilasiteshveshu. How do we say that? Taya vilasiteshveshu. Taya vilasiteshveshu. Teshu eshu. Teshu. Teshu eshu. Teshu shve. Teshu eshu. Teshu eshu. Teshu eshu. Teshu. It's te. Shwe. It's kind of the U kind of gets nullified. Shveshu. Te shveshu. Taya vilasite shveshu. I guess it's easier if we didn't have this space here. Right there. Shveshu. Taya vilasite shveshu. Taya vilasite shveshu. Shveshu. Taya vilasite shveshu. Does that make sense, Data K?
Oh my goodness. That is crazy.
Yeah, let's take a maybe we can put it on. It's divided according to the word, but it's not exact necessarily how it's found. So let's see. Let's see, browser is open. Can you see it? Is it too small for you? Too small?
No, I can blow it up. I'm good.
I'm wondering where's my, because I could increase the font size, but it's not showing me.
It's okay. I can blow it up. It's all right.
Yeah, let me just make the screen a little bigger. The Taya Vilasite Veshu. That's much easier, isn't it? We break it up like that.
Yeah, baby.
Taya Vilasite Veshu.
Taya Vilas.
Sorry.
Say, that's okay. Velocity, say, shoot. Say, shoot. Trying.
Pull it back up, sorry. Where is the screen? It's still blank for me. Let me refresh it. I closed a bunch of tabs that were open. Here, and I can close this book here. Goswami. Gratadarsini. Haya Vilasite Veshu. Try to say that. Haya Vilasite Veshu.
Taya Velocity, Spaceship. Spaceship.
Veshu.
Spaceship.
Yeah, it's not exactly a common sounding word.
Velocity, spaceship.
Yeah. Haya Vilasite Veshu.
Taya Velocity, spaceship. It does help when you broke it apart like that to picture it. Velocity, spaceship. This one has a couple tough ones in it. It looks like.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a little bit alliteration. Just close this. Taya Vilasite Sveshu Guneshu Gunavaniva Antavarishta, inside entering, appears to be Abhati, appears to be entering, appears to be involved. Okay, where is docs.google.com? Guneshu Gunavaniva. Just recite that. Guneshu Gunavaniva.
Guneshu Gunavaniva.
Guneshu Gunavaniva.
Guneshu Gunavaniva.
Anta, inside, pravishta.
Anta.
Pravishta, going, entering. Antabhavishta abhati.
Antapravishta abhati.
Vijnanena. Again, look, this is a hard word.
Yeah.
Vijimbitaha.
Oh my. Vijnanena. This whole one is tough. That's why Carmen was like, I'm out.
Taya vilasite sveshu.
So Taya Velasite Spatial. No, God.
Yeah. So this file. There it is.
Yay.
Put it.
Yay.
Taya vilasite sveshu.
Taya Velasite Spatial.
Guneshu gunavaniva.
Guneshu Gunavan Eva.
Antabhavishta abhati. And when you
Anta.
say anta, you should like make like a visual, like where the hand, like the going within. Antabhavishta.
Anta Pravishta.
The anta is inside.
Inside.
Interior. Anta, interior. Pravishta, entering.
Pravishta. Avati.
And I want to look up this word. Let's look up this word, abhati. Oh no. Now, super big. Let me just click on open. Abhati. Let's see. Some example that comes up. Nabhati. This is not abhati. It's unmanifested. So manifested appears. So it's a nice technical word to say that Krishna is not really in material nature. He's not like mixed in it. He appears to, he's entered, but it's more like an appearance of entering because he's not really like the hair dyeing thing, Here, I will show you. You ready? This is daughter's new hair color.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's really far out.
Wow. Oh, how cool is that? Oh my gosh. Wow.
So if you're here, this.
Oh my
Actually,
goodness.
you got that for $20 yesterday.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah.
She's so cool.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Did
So
she
you
do that
can't dye.
herself?
Yeah, my wife did the hair. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You
Wow.
can't, honest devotees, cute baby, baby.
Oh my gosh, so cute. Oh, so cute.
So you can't dye someone's hair without your fingers
That's a
getting
cool
all
picture. I like
pink
that.
and green. You can't do it without your fingers getting dyed.
That's true.
My-
Or dyeing everything.
yeah.
Oh.
My wife's fingers are all kind of green from my son's hair. And so this abhati means appears to be, like it appears that he's like mixed in this material nature. Abhati. That's a nice technical term to make sure there's not a confusion of the Lord's actual position. Let's see if there's more. Pain. Abhati, the same. What about bhati? Is the opposite of something? Avabhati appears, manifested, completely manifested. Here it's also ahead of the word shine. Dazzling, illuminates. I wonder if there's appearance, appears, arises, shines within, manifested. There we go. Yeah, let's go back to our verse. Taya vilas. Oh, let's pull it up on the word file. That's better. Taya vilasite sveshu.
Wait, I don't
Oh,
see.
are you seeing my screen yet? You're not seeing my screen. Hold on.
Okay, I have it on mine, but I like how you broke it apart.
But I have it. This word file is broken up. Taya vilasite sveshu.
Ya velastate sveshu
Guneshu gunavaniva.
guneshu gunavaniva
Anta pravishta abhati.
anta pravishta abhanti
Vijnanena vijim bitaha.
vigyam
Vidrim. Vidrim. This is ri. Vidrim. Oh my God. Okay, let's put you could put an I or a U even, because vidrum.
vidrim
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 bitaha.
vidrim vita
Vijnanena vidrim. Okay, let's break this up. This is too much.
vidyamina
This is too much to see right now. Look at this letter. Vidrim. Vidrim.
vidrim vita. That helps.
I'll just put bitaha.
Nice.
Taya vilasite sveshu.
Taya vilasate sveshu
Guneshu gunavaniva.
guneshu gunavaniva
Antaparvishta abhati.
anta pravishta abhati
Vijnanena vidrim bitaha.
vigyanena vidrim pitaha
Antaparvishta abhati.
anta pravishta abhati.
And we can just make it, let's make this all, let's just go for it. All phonetic. Usually the vowels that we kind of need help with. Taya vilasite sveshu.
Taya vilasate sveshu
Guneshu gunavaniva.
guneshu gunavaniva
Antapravishta abhati.
anta pravishta abhati
Vijnanena vidrim bitaha.
vigyanena vidrim pitaha. Thanks for doing that.
Oh, that helps. That helps. Taya vilasite sveshu
Taya vilasate sveshu
guneshu gunavaniva
Guneshu Gunavaniva
antapravishta abhati
Antapravishta Abhati
vijnanena vijrimbitaha.
Vijnanena Vajrimbitaha.
Right, one more time. Taya vilasite sveshu
Taya Vilasate Sveshu
guneshu gunavaniva
Guneshu Gunavaniva
antapravishta abhati
Antapravishta Abhati
vijnanena vijrimbitaha.
Vijnanena Vajrimbitaha.
Very nice.
Thank you for breaking that apart.
Yes, yes. So we're Taya vilasite sveshu. After creating this material substance, the Lord makes another form of himself and enters into it. Or many forms, unlimited forms of himself, because he enters into the living entities. Although he is within the material modes of nature, he appears to be one of the created beings. He is always fully enlightened in his transcendental position. Vijnanena vijrim pitaha. What is this word? We don't have anything like it. Let's see if we can figure out like bitaha. If that's something. Grace, abhitaha, all sides. Nabitaha, I don't know what this is. Abhitaha, fully, I don't see. Not really getting the root there. Abhitaha. Not really seeing where it's coming from. Maybe, is there a word with this in it? Another word? Oh, there's the Vijrimbha. Vijrimbhavanaya. Vijrimbhan. Okay, this is Vijrimbhite too. This is, yeah, I think we need some Sanskrit professor to help us. What are the roots of that word? Don't know. All right. Taya vilasite sveshu guneshu gunavaniva antavarvishta abhati vijnanena vijrimbitaha. Okay, I think I have that memorized. After entering material substance, the Lord expands himself, makes multiple forms of himself, and enters into it. Although within the material modes of nature, always guneshu, he gunavan eva, as if affected by the modes of material nature. Although he's within, so although he's as if he's in the modes of material nature, gunavan eva, he is always fully enlightened in his transcendental position. Vijnanena vijrimbitaha. All right. So thank you very much. Oh, Tat Sat. Any last questions or comments?
Oh, that was good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Always so much good information. Thank you.
Welcome. So yeah, we learned that although he is in this world, even the sages may ask, okay, you said that Narayana Paraveda. Narayana, all the Vedas are for Narayana, but the Vedas talk so much about creation and material existence. And Lord Vishnu is okay, Paro Vyakta is beyond this material existence. How can how can is Narayan the same as Mahavishnu? Is that the same being? Yes. He is entered, he mixes in, but he's not mixed in. Appears to be. Like fire is kind of within wood, but it's also not within wood. It's not, wood is not fire. All right.
And I'll always remember the pink and green hair for that.
Say it again.
And I'll always remember the pink and green hair for that.
Pink and green hair. Awesome. Yes. He's not getting his fingers pink and green. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
all for whoever was watching. Haribol, Haribol.
Haribol. Have a good day.
You too.